Alright, this is Leetcode permutations. What is a permutation? Well, if we're given the option of 1, 2, 3, that basically means at each position we want to try each number, like we want to generate different variations with each number at each position. For example, 2, 1, 3 is a permutation, 1, 2, 3 is a permutation, 3, 1, 2 is a permutation. So it's about using each of the available options at each position. So we can go through the available options by passing into a function options and then making a for loop just to loop through the options array, which is, for example, 1, 2, 3. We can then pass in a list called perm for to hold our permutation. We can say perm.add the current number. So now what we're doing is we're going 1, 2, 3 essentially, but the problem is we need to do 1, 2, 3 at each stage. So we need to do it recursively, repeatedly. We've already got the logic to loop through 1, 2, 3, so we can put it in the loop since each position, the 1 needs to go through 1, 2, 3, the 2 needs to go through 1, 2, 3. We can put in the loop the function to call itself, pass in the options and the perm. So now what it's going to do is it's going to repeatedly, it's going to go to 1 and then it's going to go to 1, 2, 3, but it's going to do that forever because we have defined no base case where it returns. It's just going to, for 1, 2, 3, call itself again, which is going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 forever. So how do we know when we finished making a permutation? Well, it's once we've used all the numbers because we can only pick from 1, 2, or 3. And you notice that the length of a permutation is equal to the number of options. So we could say if the permutation's count is equal to the number of options length, then we're done. So we can return. And then we can also add to our central permutations list of lists, permutations.add a copy of the current permutation that we've made, and then we can return. So the problem here is still, once we're going through, say, from 1 to 2 to 3, we're going to be reusing 1, 1, 1 each time, which is not correct. It needs to be 1, 2, 3 or 1, 3, 2. You can't have 1, 1, 1. You don't want to reuse numbers in a permutation. So we need to mark that the numbers are no longer available at each stage. So as you go to the right, you have less options. So the way we can remember what we've used is we can pass a hash set, like at speak and type, called used. And then in our loop, we can say if used contains the current option, then we don't want to save it in our permutation. We just want to keep looking for the next number we can. Continue causes the loop to go to the next number. If we haven't used it, well then we want to build up our permutation by adding it to our list and then beginning that recursive process again. We also want to say, okay, now we have used this. So there's one thing left to do, and that's once we've reached the end, it's going to return back up to here. But now this time we've done it with 1. We now want to do 2. So we want to clear this 1 and this time start with the 2. So how do we do that? We remove from our permutation list the end of it. So each time we get to the end of an option here, it'll remove this, then it'll remove this, and then it'll remove this. And we can then go down to the next version and start the process over again. So we remove it from the current permutation, and then we go use.remove options, the current number, and then that should be everything in 4 minutes, hopefully. Okay, I keep forgetting to do that. That's it, if you pretend that didn't happen.